Hey there, Sam! JavaScript is such a powerful language that has a lot of use in many areas. However, traditionally, it can only be run inside the browser because it was designed to do exactly that. And since it is such a powerful and dynamic language, people started to think about why can't we run JavaScript outside the browser? And in 2012, a guy called Ryan Dow finally created an environment where we can run JavaScript outside the browser, and it's known as Node. So Node.js is really a program that provides us an environment to run JavaScript outside the browser. Now here's a question though, why do we need to run JavaScript outside the browser? What benefit does this bring to us? Well, the main benefit is that we no longer need to restrict ourselves into writing apps just for the browser. For example, we can build a smart home system using Node.js where we can turn on and off our lights using JavaScript, or make ourselves a cup of coffee, or build a full security system where Node.js would receive live stream data from multiple security cameras. We can also use Node.js to run day-to-day computer tasks, for example, installing a software or downloading files from the internet. In this series, we'll learn how to use Node.js to build some of these apps ourselves, so stay tuned for that. Now, there's a lot of differences between the JavaScript in the browser and the JavaScript living inside Node.js. You see, since Node is running outside the browser, we don't need a lot of features from the browser. For example, the DOM, the CSS, local storage, and etc. If we look at the MDN Web API documentation, a lot of these components are not needed by Node.js because these components are only making sense in the context of a web browser. So Node does remove a lot of these components and also added a lot of additional components as well. So if we go to its official documentation, on the left-hand side, there is a list of built-in modules provided by Node. In contrast to the Web API, these components are only making sense in the context of backend services. For example, the OS module provides us information about our operating system, and that is not applicable in the context of a web browser. The JavaScript inside the browser has control over the browser, and the JavaScript inside Node has control over the computer that it is currently running on. The documentation can look quite intimidating. The thing is, you don't need to learn all of these modules all at once. We'll only need to learn things that we need, so you can leave the rest alone and learn them in the future. Alright, before moving on to the next lesson, you'll need to install Node in your computer. Just go to Node's homepage and download Node's installer. I will normally pick the LTS version, which stands for long-term support, and it is the more stable version out of the two choices here. Once you have downloaded Node and installed it, you should be able to access Node everywhere in your terminal. Just go to your terminal and type in node-version. If you can see a Node version number showing up in your terminal, that means you have successfully installed Node. I will also suggest you to install this tool called NVM, which stands for Node Version Manager. This tool will let you to install Node and also to switch to different versions of Node easily with just one line of command. Anyway, if you have successfully installed Node, you'll be ready to rock and roll. I'll see you in the next lesson. Key takeaway for this lesson: Node.js is a program that provides us an environment to run JavaScript outside the browser. We can write all kinds of apps using Node.js, including smart home system, software installer, security system, and etc. Node Version Manager, or NVM for short, is a handy tool to install a switched Node version in our computer. That's it for this lesson, and I'll see you again in the next video.